So, to start, this is not exactly the type of video that I'm used to making, so bear with me. In fact, this is the first time that I'm even using a script, but I decided to try something different, seeing as how I don't have any other games to actually record that I haven't played already. So, anyway, I figured that I would try my luck with another video type and see how it performs. If you do like this style of video, then please do let me know in the comments, but as you can see right now, this video is just kind of a brief analysis and what my opinion is on the game Kingdom Come Deliverance. Probably one of my favorite games of all time, if you couldn't tell from the video title. With that out of the way, time to move on to the actual video. What is Kingdom Come Deliverance? Well, Kingdom Come Deliverance is a game that is based off of real historical events that took place in the Kingdom of Bohemia in and around the year 1403. So at least 4 years ago for those of you who are bad at math, like myself. And when I say based off of real historical events, just so you guys know, I am referring to the context, the locations, and the main events of the game, as well as some important characters like Lords Hanush and Radzikobila. And just so you guys know what I mean by locations, if you pull up Google Earth and go to in-game locations with it on Street View, the resemblance is astounding. You'll see what I mean here. And as for the historical context, Warhorse included a cutscene that plays every time you launch the game that gives you the real-life history of that time period in Bohemia. It does a great job at explaining it, so much so that I'm just going to let the cutscene play out for you guys.
Charles IV, King of Bohemia and Holy Roman Emperor, had a long and successful reign. The empire he ruled from Prague expanded, and his subjects lived in peace and prosperity. When the emperor died, the whole empire mourned. More than 7,000 people accompanied him on his last procession. The heir to the throne of the flourishing empire was Charles's son, Wenceslas IV, whose father had prepared him for this moment all his life. But Wenceslas did not take after his father. He neglected affairs of state for more frivolous pursuits. He even failed to turn up for his own coronation as emperor, which did little to endear him to the Pope. Wenceslas the Idle did not impress the imperial nobility either. His difficulties mounted until the nobles, exasperated by the inaction of their ruler, turned for help to his half-brother, King Sigismund of Hungary. Sigismund decided on a radical solution. He kidnapped the king to force him to abdicate, then took advantage of the ensuing disorder to gain greater power for himself. He invaded Bohemia with a massive army and began pillaging the territories of the king's allies. It is here that my story begins.
So yeah, Bohemia is in turmoil, and the game probably wasn't even on your radar until now. And if it was, then it was probably because of me. No apologies. You know who you are. Now, the map of Kingdom Come Deliverance is, as aforementioned, astounding. There are only a few games that allow you to enter almost every building without entering a cutscene or a loading screen. And KCD is one of them. And I mean it when I say that you can enter almost every building, with only a few exceptions. The atmosphere in the game is wonderful, from the map and the inventory menus, to the armor and weapons, and the different locations. KCD is incredibly immersive. It is a proper RPG. No fantasy setting, no tier system. This game is meant to immerse the player in its world and with its characters, and it does this very well. The character you play as, Henry, is a simple peasant with his father being a blacksmith. Now, Henry knows nothing of how to survive in the world. He doesn't know how to properly wield a sword, how to hunt, how to lockpick, how to pickpocket, doesn't know alchemy, and hell, Henry doesn't even know how to read. That being said, these are all skills that Henry can learn and improve upon in time, and as he goes, alongside the player. He even learns to give bit. I will admit that combat can get a little bit wonky at times, but even then, I personally love it. The combat is very progressive, especially because you learn the combat alongside Henry, such as different weapon combos, the Master Strike, Perfect Block, all of that. This game is one where you truly learn with a character that you play as, which I can greatly appreciate. But like I've said, combat can get very choppy at times. It sometimes can be utterly game-breaking, though it comes in rare and far, so it's seldom an issue, if at all. But I think I've only experienced one game-breaking combat glitch in my 115-hour playthrough, at least 30 hours of which was dedicated strictly to combat, namely training. Oh yeah, and I do recommend training in combat and learning the Master Strike and Perfect Block and all that as soon as possible. You'll thank me later. In KCD, lockpicking is pretty weird compared to some other games, and at first it may seem impossible to do, especially on console. Side note for all my console players out there, go into settings and enable simplified lockpicking. You will greatly appreciate that later on. You may not understand it now, but trust me. But anyway, once you get used to it, lockpicking can turn out to be incredibly profitable. Pickpocketing, on the other hand, I haven't really done. I've never had much of a need for it, but it's still a useful skill to have, I reckon. But if I needed to grab loot off of a guard lying down in bed, I'd just knock them out first and then just loot them. But that's just me. The currency in KCD is groschen, which is essentially just silver, to my understanding. But groschen can be made in a few different ways, whether it be winning the Rate tourney, being a thief in the dead of night, which was my preferred method, mission rewards, looting bandits, and probably the most profitable of all, the Pribyslavitz, or the town of Pribyslavitz, from the Ashes DLC. Well, I won't go into that DLC in this video, just to save time, but anyway. Oh yeah, and the prices of trader items can be impacted by your reputation. You can raise your reputation by successfully haggling, just trading, doing side quests, and all the like. It's pretty much just common sense. Naturally, committing a crime will lower one's reputation. There are a couple of different punishments depending on the crime. You may simply be fined and be searched and have any and all stolen items on your person be confiscated. Or alternatively, you will face jail time. A good way to avoid getting stolen items confiscated is to store them on your horse before getting searched, or just passing a speech check and convincing the guard that you're too important to be fined. That kind of stuff. Alchemy is probably the most unrealistic thing about KCD, but even so, it is still done in a way where one can really immerse themselves in it, kind of. Brewing potions may seem complex initially, but it is fairly simple. And by the way, one turn is just one pump of air, as can be seen in the footage right here. The different types of potions that can be brewed range from healing potions to strength potions, agility potions, and even what are called savior schnapps. Kingdom Come Deliverance does not have a traditional quick save or manual save. Instead, the method of saving is through savior schnapps. a slightly alcoholic potion that, and I quote, has a taste too unique to forget, which is just a clever way for the developers to give context to the existence of the item and what it's used for. In order to manually save your game, and there are not many autosaves by the way, you need to consume a savior snap, which can be done in either the pause menu or in your inventory. Savior snaps are quite expensive, so it is best to learn how to brew them using the alchemy early on in the game. And to put it simply, if you do not have savior snaps on your person, on your player, you cannot save the game. So what I would recommend, if you have them on your horse, just move like half them to your inventory so you still have supply left, but that's what I did. However, PC players can overcome the necessity of savior snaps with mods. But personally, even if I had access to mods, I wouldn't get rid of savior snaps. I've grown to like them too much. Fast traveling in KCD is also fairly unique. Instead of simply loading you directly to the location, KCD makes Henry walk the distance to the location by following a path. Time will pass as he fast travels, and there's a chance that he will come across some sort of event that may pull him out of fast travel, whether it be an accident or men-at-arms, or even simply a pilgrim. All of these have a chance of pulling the player out of fast travel. Upon coming across the event, the player may choose to go around whatever or whoever it is, which may fail, or they may stop fast traveling to investigate the event, which has a 100% success rate as you'd expect. Horses in Kingdom Come Deliverance are what you'd probably expect. I mean, they get you from point A to point B a lot faster, and after completing a few quests, you are given a horse of your own. Well, naturally, the horse is pretty sluggish and cowardly when compared to the other horses, but it is still a good horse to start with, though I would recommend either buying or stealing if you're feeling courageous, a new horse at your earliest convenience. My personal favorite horse is probably Albarak. I don't think that's a spoiler. If it is, I'm sorry. But Albarak is a pretty fast, courageous horse with really good cargo capacity. A horse is also a great equalizer when in combat, especially if you practice, as you can attack enemies on horseback with almost any weapon, probably every weapon actually, including a bow, if you want to embrace your inner Mongolian. But do note that when in combat, you can be knocked off your horse if you ride too close and too slow when next to enemies.
What do you think about
Oh yeah, I almost forgot to mention that KCD has a few different survival elements, being the fact you need to eat and to sleep. Eating is mostly not a problem, as there are various pots around the map that have food in them that you can just eat from, though you can overeat, which in turn will cause you to become more sluggish and clumsy. Whereas with sleeping, that one's pretty simple. Just sleep when you need to, but don't sleep at inconvenient times, because you can only sleep for so long. Without spoiling the story too much, the aforementioned character, Henry, is just a simple peasant who's just doing peasant stuff in the town of Skalitz, which belonged to Sir Radzikobila, who was the hetman of Wenceslaus IV. And for those of you who do not know, a hetman is just basically a military commander. And because of this, the town of Skalitz was raised by Sigismund and his army of humans. This all takes place in the game before the game title cutscene even plays, which is actually a few good hours in, if you really like a slow-paced story, or narrative-driven story, which is this game. So, yeah. All in all, Kingdom Come Deliverance's main story is about 43 hours long, if you were to play nothing but the main quest line. If you wanted to 100% the game, then it will take well over 120 hours to do so, and the length of the game can be lengthened by purchasing and playing the 5 different DLCs. The DLC bundle is about $20 USD, which in my opinion is a bit of a steal. And I would absolutely recommend buying the DLC if you did enjoy the base game, hell, even if the DLC bundle is on sale or just the DLCs are on sale, I would still recommend buying it. Well worth the money in my opinion. And with that, my personal favorite DLCs are probably A Woman's Lot, closely followed by Band of Bastards and From the Ashes. Those are probably my top 3. I could probably make another video just detailing the DLC, which I will do if you guys actually enjoy this type of video. But anyway, Kingdom Come Deliverance is available on most platforms, being PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo Switch, and PC. KCD costs about $30 USD. Warhorse Studio, the developers of KCD, is a gaming company based out of Prague in Czechia, or more commonly known as the Czech Republic. The company was founded on July 25th in 2011, and they only released one title. That title, of course, being Kingdom Come Deliverance, which was released in 2018. In fact, I'll go ahead and leave the official Kingdom Come Deliverance Discord server in the video description if you guys are interested in joining. Now, for the conclusion. Of my 115 hours of gameplay, I most definitely had fun, and really wished I could experience this game for the first time again. I kinda just bought the game without really knowing jack all about it, because it was on sale, and the trailer looked pretty cool. But by no means, mind you, do I really enjoy RPG games, but KCD hit a sweet spot. I don't like using that term, but that's kind of the perfect term to use here. But there were, of course, times where I was frustrated with the game and almost gave up. There's one specific part I'm talking about. If you know, you know. But I continued playing it and reached a bittersweet ending. Personally, I do kind of believe that the ending would have been better if it were in the start of a sequel, I guess. As it would make much more sense as a cutscene to start off with. The footage you're seeing right now playing, this is actually towards the beginning, so don't worry. That's all I'll say. Something has to kick off his adventure. But anyways. No, the ending is just kind of would make more sense to start off a new game with, whereas there's this kind of dream cutscene that would have been perfect to end the game on. But that's just my opinion. And I would have been really satisfied if it had ended on that dream, but it didn't. Oh well. But that being said, sorry I'm getting off topic. If you're willing to spend $30 USD on a game, or you see this game on sale, then I would absolutely recommend that you play Kingdom Come Deliverance for yourself. It is very fun. Yeah, and that's just the video, I guess. I don't really have an outro thingy yet, so I guess all I'll say is that I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and leave feedback. Yeah, feedback in the comments. Especially if you mainly if you actually really did or really did not. And kind of liked the video, I guess. I don't know. Alright, see ya.